What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's crackin' lackin'? What's up? Up, up, up. It's windy outside. Very windy. It's so windy that my car's gonna blow over. That's what somebody said they said on the radio. So I watched an interesting video. I've seen all the Conjuring movies, and I've never been haunted by a spirit from a movie. It's just fucking weird, but apparently people have. So I don't know if you guys heard of those. Like, I like that scary story shit. I don't like it watch it at night, but I do enjoy it. So this is 5 times people were haunted after watching a scary film. I don't know. It sounds pretty silly to me. So let me know if you guys have been haunted after watching a movie. Like, how is that even? Is that even possible? I don't think it's possible. But maybe it is. Who knows? Why I can't, like, I don't understand why I can't, like, put it, like, turn this over. I don't understand why I can't put it, like, up and down instead of side to side. Anyway, so this is, you saw Bizarre something. They're really funny. Whatever. I'm just gonna watch this and see.
Something our mind does when being in a state of fear. Yet there are still some who firmly believe that such films do invite the supernatural. So, can films like these serve as gateways to the paranormal? Are people actually witnessing something supernatural, or are they simply in a state of paranoia? Here are some stories that may answer that question. After coming home from watching Sinister, a film based on an evil pagan deity that eats children, a woman started having strange experiences in her home. She first had a nightmare involving the malicious deity of the film. She shrugged this off as her just being paranoid and as something that happens to everyone after watching a scary film. However, she began to doubt this as being normal after witnessing something terrifying the following day. While being home alone on a rainy day, she heard someone knocking at her door. She walked over and looked through the door's peephole. She saw what appeared to be a woman with curly hair drenched by the rain. Not being able to see her face, she opened the door slightly and peered through the small opening to get a better view of this woman. Upon looking, she was surprised to see that the woman was now gone. It was as though she disappeared into thin air. However, this wasn't the only thing that frightened her. Within the following days, she experienced many more strange events. Upon reflection, she believed that the film may have been the cause for these odd occurrences.
Really? Okay.
The sequel to The Conjuring is based on 2 paranormal investigators who face an evil entity that haunts a young girl and her family. It then shouldn't come as a surprise that the film has led many people to experience something paranormal after watching it. In one instance, a father and his son rented the film and claimed to have experienced something strange. While waiting in the film's main menu, the father realized that the remote to the DVD player was missing. They both then proceeded to look for it. After searching all over the living room, the father left to get a drink from the kitchen. At that moment, the menu then began to play the creepiest song ever, according to the father.
Oh shit, man.
Upon returning, he was surprised to see that the control was now on the couch. He assumed his son found it, but after asking if he did, he was spooked to hear that his son didn't. His son thought that it was him, his dad, that found the control. If no one found the remote, then who did? This surely scared them, which caused them to share their story on a website where others have also reported being haunted by the film. In other cases, lights started flickering and certain items in people's homes started being displaced. There are many more stories, but these are just a few. Just like the previous story, this one is based on the Conjuring sequel. After watching the film with both her husband and son, Maria went straight to bed. By 3 o'clock in the morning, her husband lies on the bed next to her after helping their son fall asleep. Immediately, both Maria and her husband hear a loud bang come from their closet, which sounded like a plate shattered by a hammer. Startled by this, both Maria and her husband began to slowly approach the closet. As they walked over and slowly opened the door, they saw something that gave them goosebumps. Their family portrait had been shattered to pieces. Maria was confused as she couldn't explain how the portrait could have broken the way it did. There was nothing in the closet that could have caused this. Of course, Maria strongly believes that the film may have had something to do with their portrait breaking. As stated before, this is just one of many stories involving people who were haunted by this film. Interestingly, aside from these people, the director of this movie also claims to have been haunted. One night, James Wan woke up and saw his dog growling at something unseen inside his home. Juan, of course, believes that his work on the film may have caused his dog to react this way.
I don't like that dog.
Whether his dog was seeing something or not, we know for sure that Juan believes his film is haunted.
Alright, well.
While watching The Conjuring 2 with her family, Joanne paused the movie and walked over to her room to change into her pajamas. While being inside her room, she heard something very unnerving. What she heard was very loud screaming. It sounded as if it was coming from her living room, thinking that her family resumed the movie but with the volume up this time. However, she then realized that the noise was closer to her. She noticed that it was actually coming from the TV inside her room. The screaming was coming from the TV speakers, yet there was nothing playing on the screen. Her family also heard this, and they were definitely spooked. Without a doubt, they all concluded that the film brought a chilling presence to the home. If you guessed this last story to be based on The Conjuring 2, then congrats, you're right. On almost every website, people have reported being haunted after watching this film. This is not to say that if you watch The Conjuring, you're guaranteed to witness something paranormal. Rather, this is just saying that many, but not all, have experienced something odd after watching it. And this next story is an example. While watching the film's ending, Nancy and her husband were terrified by what occurred in their house after a certain scene. Towards the end of the film, there is a scene where one of the main characters yells out the name of a malicious entity. Upon yelling this name, the couple's back door swung open and they heard what sounded like someone running towards their kitchen. Shaking with fear, Nancy didn't know what to make of this. Nancy's husband then checked the kitchen and was baffled to see that no one was there. After this happened, more strange things started occurring in their home. One day during the night, both Nancy and her husband heard very loud banging on their walls and the sound of someone running up and down their stairs. Just like in the film, they considered calling a priest to bless their home, which is probably one of the best things to do when dealing with situations like this. As stated by Nancy, there is something wrong with that movie.
Alright, so.
Thanks for watching. If you've ever experienced something strange after watching a scary film, let me know in the comments below. That said, this is Bizarre Bub, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
Subscribe to me. They're pretty sweet. Oh, my bad, upside down. I thought this was very interesting. So I never experienced any spiritual contact after watching this movie. I've never been haunted after watching this movie. I've never had nightmares after watching this movie. None of them, actually. So maybe it's just that I'm blessed. I don't know. But have you guys ever experienced unusual activity after watching this movie? All of them, actually. I heard that this movie was haunted before. But I don't know. So. Yeah, that's it. Anyway. I gotta go. Look at me. I gotta go somewhere. It's amazing how much plaid lesbians have in their closet, right? It's ridiculous. That's how you know you're a lesbian. You wear plaid all the time, right? So, alright. I am out. Peace.